Well, there's some updates to the story that happened out of New York with the incident with the Citi bike. Now, if you have not seen this video, we'll show it to you, but there is a physician assistant that works at Bellevue Hospital by the name of Sarah Comrie. She came out after a 12-hour shift, and she says that she rented a Citi bike so she could, go home. At the time, there are some brothers there. And she said that she rented the bike. They said they rented the bike. And if you have not seen that actual video, you may be late to it. Let's go ahead and roll that.
No, record it. Help! Help me! Please help me!
It's not your bike.
Please help me!
It's not your bike.
Please help me! Help! Please get off me!
Hey, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Please get off me!
Yo, don't not take it, bro.
Now you're not getting the bike, bro.
Hey, now you're not getting the bike, bro.
Help!
You're not getting the
Get
bike.
off me,
I'm
dude.
not. Bro,
Why you took his phone? What's wrong with you?
You're not
Don't touch
touching
his
my
phone.
phone.
Do not touch his phone.
I'm not touching you. You putting your stomach on my hand.
No, dude, stop. No, dude, stop. No. I said no. I said sit down.
Please.
She's just crying.
You're not crying.
Stupid.
I got your video. Wait, you pulled it out? Hey, Hassan, you pulled it out? Hassan,
I don't give a fuck.
Hassan, you pulled it out?
This is my bike. It's on my account. Please move.
All right, so why don't we reset the bike?
I'm not resetting the bike.
It's his.
Reset it. I'm gonna pull it out on your account.
You are active.
I don't give a fuck.
Stop fake crying. She's fake crying. Stop fake crying.
Hey, stop touching me. I want to touch you.
Hold up.
Hey, stop touching me. Stop touching me.
Why don't you take this bike?
Stop touching me.
I will.
Exactly. So take
Fuck out of here.
it. So take it.
You're stupid ass. Fuck out of here. Dumbass. Your baby gonna come out with something.
Wait, how you stop crying?
Fuck.
Not a tear came down, miss. Not a tear came down.
A lawyer came out and he said that she did rent the bike and he had posted a receipt for the bike. And after that incident, the bike was put back in within 60 seconds. She rented another bike and actually went on home. But some questions that we have here that we need to discuss. Because, today I've been getting a lot of messages, from those saying they feel like they got a win or something out of this particular story because of a receipt. What kind of win you think you got? Because now I'm about to break this all the way down to the molecule. You're desperate when you want to win based off of this situation. You're really desperate because the white supremacists have been taking a lot of L's lately, a lot. But let's go down that rabbit hole. The NYPD said they did not get any calls of 911 from anybody at all. Usually when, let's say like you pay for something, right? And somebody's there. Let's say like you go to the movies. And if you see somebody sitting in the chair that you paid for, you show them, say, hey, you in my seat, and you show the ticket. Or you show your phone and say, yeah, you in my spot. So you have to go ahead on and move around, right? That's what everybody do. In this video, she didn't pick up her phone and say, hey, no, I paid for this. This is mine. She continued to fight with him when that right there alone would have solved everything. Say, I paid for it, it's right here. Number two, she works at Bellevue Hospital, a large hospital in New York. There are police officers at Bellevue. If she felt she was in some sort of danger or they taken something from her, why didn't she pick up her phone and call her supervisor that she just got out of work and say, hey, could one of the police officers come out here because I paid for a bike and these guys here are trying to take my bike. I'm trying to go home. She didn't do that either in the video. It would have been easy for her to do that because she's an employee. She knows somebody in there. She probably knows some of the cops. Every hospital got cops. You know that. And let me tell you about New York City. Been there several times. That is one of the most policed cities I've ever seen. So there's plenty of police around. If not a cop walking around somewhere, it's not even connected to Bellevue, right? So in the video, she did not pick up and call anybody. She started trying to fight with these young men. Now, she said, oh, I'm pregnant. You rubbing up on my stomach and all of that. Why are you trying to fight with young men knowing that you are pregnant and could put you in a situation when you don't even know who these guys are? These guys could be straight hoodlums. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to risk yourself and the baby to fight over a bike? And you right there by the hospital, you could have called the cops? Now, let's be clear why this video went viral. This video went viral not because of she paid for the bike and they say they paid for the bike. No, the video really went viral because of the tears. When she just starts screaming, help, help, help behind that. And we know in America, there's a documented history of Caucasian women doing that, and it doesn't end well for black men. And she did this until the white person showed up. And then all of a sudden she cleared that up. She wasn't, because trust me, if it was something that was legitimate, why wouldn't she keep it crying? That is what made it an issue. The documented history of them doing that and things happening to black men. And then they just taken her side of the story, what her lawyer says. Why no one has reached out to those young black men and get their side of the story? Let's see if they got a receipt. You just taking her side. And I'm noticing that nobody has reached out to them. I don't know who they are. I'm not in the New York area. But those media outlets, they probably know who they are or figured something out. Now, NBC New York say they reached out to Citi Bike and they didn't respond to anything. But her lawyer's claiming two people can't rent a bike at the same time. How do you know that? Did you get a statement from Citi Bike to say that can't happen? Did you get some policy from them? You know, apps can glitch. That can happen. And what if the brothers paid for the bike and she paid for the bike at the same time? That could have happened too. You dealing with apps and all of that, there's all kind of glitches that can happen. Let's say that happened. He paid for the bike, she paid for the bike. But I just want to know if there's a receipt from them with this situation. But it's not about a receipt. I mean, the charge that she got for the other bike was $3, I think 24 cents. Because she got like $8.70 off when I saw the receipt. The issue is the weaponization of the tears. That's what that's about. We have seen that too many times, and we know how that has ended. But no charges was pressed. Nothing went on at all. And then now her lawyer is coming out talking about that, oh, we're gonna look at it and sue people for defamation and all of that. Good luck with that one. The only thing I'm gonna say with that, because that video is what it was at the time. New information came out. What do you do with new information? You update the information. Just like all the other news outlets did. They took the video for what it was at the time. They got new information. They put out the new information. It's just that simple. I mean, in America, anybody can try to sue you for something, right? But the fact is, they're saying that people are giving her death threats and all of that. Now, I don't agree with any of that. I mean, I don't know. And most of the people who's doing that, they're trolling. I always say that. They're trolling. Because nobody, in my opinion, got hurt. Nobody got killed. Nothing happened like that. So I don't understand all that. Her weaponizing her tears can upset people, sure. But going that far, that's kind of silly to me. But they say that Bellevue put her on leave. So why did Bellevue put her on leave? If she was so in the right for every single thing that she did, and it was them young men that was at fault and all of that, why did Bellevue put her on leave pending a review? If she did nothing wrong at all, there was no reason to put anything on review. She was on Bellevue property. That's the only reason why. And they say they saw the video. They saw the weaponization of the tears. They saw that. And he's up here, her lawyer talking about old people calling her Karen and all that. The weaponization of the tears is why that happened. Why don't you address the weaponization of the tears? That she turned them on and turned them off real quick. It wasn't even legitimate. It was used as a way to try to hurt and harm those young men behind a freaking $3.24 charge. So those young men's life was worth being taken, because a lot of black men life are taken for $3.24? And then why was she fighting with these young men? Why? When she had every opportunity to call Bellevue police, which is right there, to come outside and see what the situation is. Like y'all really think y'all got to win out this situation because of a receipt? Like, y'all are desperate. I mean, it's sad how desperate a lot of you have become. You need to win so bad. That's why you're spending $2 million with Daniel Penny, because you need to win so bad. Because you're looking at the L's you've been taking, like with Derek Chauvin. You look at that as an L. Well, Amber Geiger, you look at that as an L. You don't like L's like that. That's one thing. Y'all are sore losers. Y'all do not like to lose at all. But yet in sports, y'all want to talk about good sportsmanship. Y'all don't know nothing about good sportsmanship because you can't take an L. And what we are learning about the white supremacists, we're learning that getting a win, even by cowardice means, or even if it's minuscule, hey, it's just a win. We glad for that. Because it's just amazing how they're acting about it. It's like, really? I mean, this is what y'all acting about? It's quite funny. But also it's quite funny as well is that they love to follow black platforms. They will stay on black platforms. I'm talking about those who had those ideologies of white supremacy. I'm not talking about a white person that just like to hear all kind of content. They want to hear from everybody. They want to hear what, like I said, some people like to hear what everybody think. You know what I'm saying? So they can be kind of well-rounded. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the white supremacists who clearly believe in anti-black racism. They will follow everything. And one thing I said too earlier, I think I was talking to Sister Demetria, and I was saying one thing I don't like about this country is you take a simple incident like that and weaponize it and make it into a national story, and all this craziness going on behind a bike. The origin of the story. And from that bike, this woman went into what she knew would hurt and harm black people. So she took it there, which was what she was doing, the screaming of the help. She took it there. And if they did not film that, there's no telling what would have happened. One thing that has helped black people in the 21st century is camera phones. Because if we didn't have the camera phone, and it's going to be their word against ours, it's always going to be what they say. And we know that. That's why the camera phone has been a great equalizer for black people, to catch them in the act and in real time. And I always tell black people, film, upload. Do it. I said, because sometimes that would be the best thing you can do is put some film on social media and let it spread all over the world. Because if you don't sit up there and post it, you know good and well they never believe nothing we say. Even we're victims of it. Because you got to understand, a lot of times, even when the police show up, they don't code with them. They just had a story come out where a DC police officer was sitting up here giving information to Enrique Tarrio with the Proud Boys, letting him know, hey, you about to, they put out a warrant for you. Hey, this about to happen. And he said that he agreed with the Proud Boys and he supported the movement, the whole police. So that's the things that we got to even think about when these so-called police show up. That's why we call them race soldiers, is because a lot of times they don't code with them. So in order to equalize that, you got to have a camera phone. It's just that simple. But let's not play dumb while this video went viral. She pulled a classic move that could threaten the life of young black men. It's just that simple. And like I said before, every day we're finding anti-black racism incidents that we can definitely prove and don't have to talk about an update to it. Because you know me, I'm going to find them. Or people will send them to me. But let's hear what the other young men have to say. Well, what do they take on it? Because nobody asking them a word. Nobody. And I wish they come on out, put a video out on TikTok or wherever you're going to put a video out at and say they portion, let us know about their receipt, etc. So we can go ahead on and clear a lot of this up. But her tears was the problem, or her fake tears, because, and I'll review this once again, she didn't call her supervisor to get a police out there. She's at Bellevue. She didn't call 911 to get no help from the NYPD. No incident has been recorded. Nobody's been charged. No ticket has been given. Nothing. If she was really in that much danger, why didn't she call the police? That's what the question that, we ask in here. Why didn't she call them? And why would a woman who's 6 months pregnant trying to fight with a young man? That doesn't make sense either. You would think that since you are pregnant, you say, you know what? I'm not fighting with these dudes. Like, go ahead and do what you're going to do. I'm just going to sit up here and deal with the app, cancel it. I'm going to do whatever, but I'm not fighting with these dudes. Go ahead and take it, because you're not going to do that. She's the one was pressing up on them. And then say, oh, you touching my fetus. You pressing up on them, ma'am. That's why the video went viral. So don't let this receipt thing that her lawyer coming out with, talking and making everybody just, because it's not about the receipt. It's about the weaponization of the tears. And we know the weaponization of their tears has caused black men in the thousands to be killed. Race riots, white supremacist terrorist riots have started based on the tears. You understand? Look at Black Wall Street. Of course, that situation wasn't tears, but they used, say, oh, a black man touched a white woman, just to go try to justify destroying that. Look at Rosewood. They had the white woman lying. Tears caused them to go destroy Rosewood. We're looking at documented history in the United States of America, how their tears have led to destruction of property and people, because we didn't want nothing to happen to those young men. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. It's your first time being here. Make sure you click that subscribe button. That's very important. Make sure you click the like button. And if you enjoy the program, leave us a super chat or afterwards a super thanks. And those of you on Facebook who could be watching, you leave us some stars, and we'll see you on the next one.